Alright everybody, what's happening? Jewhead Nordy here with you, and it is 1 year today since I put up my first YouTube video, and I'm pretty stoked. I've got a really good following so far, and I appreciate everyone, and I just want to say thank you. And since I put my first video up of my friend driving his lawnmower, his riding mower that I turned into a Grateful Dead riding mower called I Mow You Rider, I put up about 75 videos, and I'm pretty stoked. So since it's the 11th that I put it up last year, and today is the 11th, I'm playing this version of the 11th from the Crystal Ballroom in Portland, Oregon. I'll tell you about the Crystal in a little bit, so stick around. The Grateful Dead, the 11th, they played it 106 times, I think. The first time being, I think it's 1/17/68 or 2/17/68 maybe at the Fillmore West, like January '68. But in between then and 1970, they played, like I said, about 106 versions. And then around 1970, they just cut it off. They usually always did it from China Cat into the 11, and then around late '69, early '70. Maybe late '69, they started doing St. Stephen into the 11, which changed it up, and then shortly thereafter, China Cat started going into I Know You Rider. So, supposedly the last one was July 8th, 1970, somewhere in Mississippi, but they played a gig in San Francisco the night before, so from what I could look up, that was probably wrong. So if anybody knows out there, drop me the time that they did the very last one, if you would. I would totally appreciate it. But after 1970, that was it. They did a few little references to it over the years, a few little jams, but they never sang any of the words again, or never did any of that. I read somewhere a long time ago that Jerry said it was a really fucking hard song to play. Like, you would have to do a ton of time signatures and whatever, the 11/8 time signature. I'm not a musician. That to me, it means whatever it means to technical people. So, I don't know why they stopped playing it outside of that. You know, I mean, that kind of explains it, but even though it's a technical song, the Dead have a lot of other really technical songs too. Maybe not as technical as this one. Like I said, I'm a new musician, but this version is from the Crystal Ballroom on February of 1968, and they played 2 shows at the Crystal. Now, the Crystal is a crazy, crazy venue. I've seen a bunch of shows there, not the Grateful Dead, of course. The Crystal was closed for a long time. It's here in Portland on 13th and Burnside. The Crystal has, the Dead played there this time, and I think they played there one more time after this, maybe in 1969, maybe again. The Crystal Ballroom, elegant, beautiful old place. It has a floor that has that's on ball bearings that they restored for ballroom dancing, so you can kind of get that swing. And when you see shows there, that part of the floor, which takes up most of the main floor of the building, it gets rocking and moving, and it's crazy. It gets a vibration to it where it makes you want to dance. Super, super, super ass cool. You know, when we saw Phil there, it evoked a lot of the old Grateful Dead essence, because Phil has played there several times now, and the first time that Phil played there, after the Dead hadn't played there since 68, 69, he came out and said, place looks kind of the same. He goes, but the walls just aren't dripping so much right now, or something like that. Which I thought was great. The 11 stayed out of the repertoire, except for jams, like I mentioned a minute ago, and didn't come back in until all the way back in 2019, or I mean 2009 rather, or 99, I'm sorry, 1999, with the other ones, and they brought it back, and of course it was well received, but after that, it started to get played a lot by every Dead Incarnation, the other ones, the Dead and Company. I mean, fuck, now they do it like a staple basically, which is fine by me because, you know, if the 11's gonna be a staple in the set, hell yeah, I'm down with it. But Dead at the Crystal Ballroom, what an amazing fucking venue. And then like the floor, the dancing, the cool building. I wish I had the poster from this show, and I know there's a poster out there, and someone in Portland's probably got one. Even if I could make a copy, you know, that would be just the sickest. So, let's rock out to this a little bit. It's the 11, and I'm asking you to sit around for 11 minutes today instead of 5 or 6. But let's jam it out, share a little bit. I want a time machine. I want to go back to this. Not just with my ears, with my eyes. Griffin. Love Rick Griffin. Stick with me, you guys. This one's crushing it at the end. I love it. Cheers. This one's fire. Super fire. There's a place out in Gresham, Oregon, which is a suburb next to Portland, about 20 miles from here. A place called the Springer Ballroom. You guys have probably heard that show. Shows, actually. They played several there. I've never seen what the place is. I think it might be gone. But out in Gresham back then, in 1968, 1969, it was just farmland, and it was probably the country. Springer Ballroom was probably like where they had the rodeo dances and stuff out there. Now it's kind of a big developed suburb, but back then, seeing the Dead in Gresham, Oregon, and if you're from around here, you know what I'm talking about. It would have been quite a trip back then, for sure. I love the drumming in this. They were playing such small kits. No big giant drum thing, just two little small, really tight kits, and you can hear it. If you attended one of these gigs, Springer Ballroom or this one at Crystal Ballroom back then, I am super jealous, and if you are around still and you saw this and you live up here in Portland or you live anywhere, it doesn't matter, just hit me up on my email, nordy@deadtourhead.com, and tell me your story. I want to know. I want to know what it was like to be inside the Crystal Ballroom while this was playing. That to me would be fascinating to know that I know somebody or can talk to somebody who was there. To me that would be amazing because I've never met anyone in Portland. And I've been here since '85 who went to this show. So, anyway, let me know if it's you. I want to talk to you. This crazy feedback at the end. So I can just see Jerry up against his hand. Wow. Alright. Cheers, everybody. The 11th, on the 11th, my first year complete on YouTube. I did a one circle. Thanks for being around. I appreciate every one of you guys. Cheers, and we will talk to you soon. Summer tour coming up soon. Woo!